Hey everybody, Doug Shoemaker here with the Shoemaker Loan Team at USA Mortgage. And recently, I've had a lot of my past clients and current clients say that it's kind of confusing when they're looking to choose homeowners insurance. Like, who should they go with, and what are some of the different things that they should look at? Because gosh, there's so many different things with homeowners insurance that could change your costs. So I'm here with a really good friend of mine, Brice Hazelwood. A lot of you guys, my current and past clients, you guys know Brice. He's probably taking care of your homeowners insurance. I trust his opinion, and so I wanted to bring Brice here just to answer some of those questions for you. So first of all, Brice, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for helping all my clients the way you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But brother, I want to ask you, whenever my clients are choosing I guess a homeowner's insurance company, what's the top thing or the top two things you think that are important when they choose that company?
Gosh, there's several factors, of course, you want to factor in. One I think some folks don't really consider is experience. Myself, I've been at this since I was 17. Actually, I started in the insurance business. I was still in high school actually when I started, and it's never left. But the experience has helped me a lot, just to know how to insure people. Sure, the companies can teach agents how to insure people, but until you've been at it for several years, in my opinion, it's harder to make a diagnosis and give just the proper coverages, because everybody can go out and get a great rate in insurance, but not everybody can give the right coverages or know how to choose the right coverages. So that's kind of where I tend to step in and just make sure you got the right coverage. The price, just because I'm a broker, thankfully I have so many companies, some big names like Travelers, to some smaller names like United Home or Columbia Mutual. But we have so many companies that we can choose from on the broker side. So.
Yeah, so from that standpoint, guys, look, if you've been with your homeowner's insurance agent for 25 years and you know them, like them, trust them, you love them, they know you, they have your family, best interest at heart. We're not saying that you need to do something about that, but it doesn't hurt just to make sure we keep them honest and maybe check that premium and make sure that you're where you should be. The other piece of that, though, is all the different carriers you've got, because tell me if I'm wrong, man, but from one year to another, if there's a massive hailstorm that hits one company harder than another, it's going to drastically affect their rates different than it might the other.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys have seen insurance for how many years that you've seen, and it goes up, down, sideways, left, right. It always changes. So with the ever-changing insurance market, that's the biggest reason I became an independent agent was rates are changing all the time, as well as coverages. So I have the best of both worlds between rates and coverages, not just on the home insurance side, but of course on the auto side to other insurance products as well.
Right.
So it's been a good mix between the pricing and the carriers, because so many people, of course, are focused on price. That's what insurance is all about, marketed. But really, when you boil down to it, you got to make sure you got the right coverage.
So, Brice, let me ask you this, man. In terms of the coverages and all the different bells and whistles that are out there, if I'm a first-time home buyer coming to you, what is your advice when it comes to all of that? Should I be buying everything that they offer me, or what should I do from the get-go? And does that make that much of a difference between one carrier or another, or should I be looking at, man, what did they put my replacement cost at? Does that really make that much of a difference? What's the best advice you've got, and what a first-time home buyer should be looking at?
Oh, the best. Gosh, there's lots of advice, but there's so many different coverages on older homes that you want to make sure it's on there, such as a service line if it's available, which that just has the pipe between the house and the main sewer line. Some carriers offer, some of them don't. Some of my carriers offer, some of them don't, but on the older homes I tend to include that.
And that's a big deal, guys, because if you've not experienced a problem where there's a problem with that service line,
where the
it can cost some bucks to get that fixed. So that's a great point.
Well, not to mention just the bucks to get it cleaned up, but mold spreads so quick. Again, that's just based upon experience, what I've seen in the industry. Earthquake is another big one, being Southern Illinois, Missouri. Depending upon where you are, you may or may not need it, but earthquake is another big one that folks really don't think about, because we've never had a big earthquake. We've had some small tremors from time to time, but
not in over 100 years.
Right. Well, that's what they're predicting. Actually, is the next big catastrophe is earthquake. So if you don't have it, definitely get it added to your current carrier.
Yeah, so one of the things that I would say is that, insurance in general is there to protect you from an event that you can't afford to protect yourself from. So, when it comes to deductibles and stuff like that, what's your advice there, man?
Ooh, deductibles. So I usually recommend the higher deductibles. And when I say higher, homes can have a high deductible, like $10,000. Now, if you can weather a storm like that, so as far as deductible goes, then yes, go with a higher deductible. But most of the time you have a $1,000, maybe a $2,000 deductible on your home. And that just helps keep the cost down. So the higher the deductible, the lower the premiums. Same with car insurance. The higher the deductible, the lower the premiums. So when I go through folks' policies, I want to make sure that that if they want to maintain $1,000 deductibles, $500 or $250, that I give them those options. But just know the higher the deductibles, the lower the pricing.
Cool, dude. That's some great information, man.
Yeah.
Brice, anything you can think of, like last thoughts or final thoughts about the homeowners insurance side of things that our average consumer needs to know about, whether they used you or whether they went with someone else and maybe they just want a second opinion down the road? Anything else you can think of that's very important for people to know about homeowners insurance one way or the other?
So being in a competitive market, of course, much like Doug is on the mortgage side, there's a lot of times I come across folks' policies where replacement cost was not added to either the home itself or contents. Replacement cost is key because if your house blows away, you want to make sure it's replaced according to what it should be. And some people don't find out until it's too late.
Right.
Their house burns down, and it blows away, and they realize that their agent, maybe to save a couple $100 a year, but unbeknownst to the client, that lower premium resulted in a huge financial loss for that client ultimately. So, when I come across things like that, replacement cost is a huge one. Thankfully, we as agents, we are ethical, but I do come across a lot. So definitely get a hold of me to make sure you got that.
Do you ever see the opposite, where an agent might put just an astronomical replacement cost on something just to drive up the premium?
Oh, shucks, yes. So again, that kind of goes back to the experience. So we as agents, we have to calculate replacement costs. We have in-house replacement cost estimators per each company. But if I put in wrong specs because Zillow showed it was 2,000 square foot, and you actually got a hold of the assessor office and it shows it was actually 1,300. Well, a rookie agent would look on Zillow and see the 2,000 square foot and use that for replacement. Well, that would over-insure the home because you only want to account for what's above ground for living space at a square footage. Of course, then we account for any finished portions of the basement as part of the quotes as well. But yeah, absolutely, I see it quite a bit. But you also want to make sure on the flip side that they don't under-insure the house also.
Cool. Well, brother, I appreciate you being
buddy,
here.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, make sure and stay tuned because we'll bring Brice back to talk about other types of insurance, like your auto policies. Because man, whenever Brice helps our clients, generally speaking, we see them get a dramatic decrease in their auto policies as well as their homeowners insurance. So, brother, if it's okay, I'd like to bring you back and maybe we can do the same question and answer thing in reference to people's auto policies and maybe renters policies or other things they might have. But
absolutely.
Hey, guys, if you have any questions in relation to homeowners insurance or auto or any of the other stuff that Brice talked about, you can always reach out to him. Brice, where can they get you?
Oh, call or text 636-734-1310.
Hey, and if you need any good, honest advice for your friends and family when it comes to buying a home, refinancing a home, gosh, unfortunately, man, I've seen divorce rates on the rise. I mean, over 60% of people end in divorce now, and man, I'd love to see you get some help and hopefully fix that and not have to go down that road. But if you're going to go through something like that, if you need some advice on what do I do with the house or what might happen in reference to the loan and our credit, always feel free to reach out to us. I'm here for you, including nights and weekends at 618-795-0790, or you can find us online at 618loanteam.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day, everybody.